Hey guys, thank you for returning. And those of you who don't know me, my name is Scarlett, and I'm going to be continuing to read Tainted. Today we're starting on chapter 2, and we're going to work through that one. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, continue doing that. And if you haven't seen chapter 1, go back, watch it, and then come back and watch this one. All right, so now we're going to do chapter 2, How Much is Real? Here we go. Kevin tries to remind himself that the life he once knew is completely different from what he has seen and experienced, and he realizes that he misses Bella more than he could ever have imagined. It's just something about her that causes him to want her by his side despite knowing that she isn't right for his personal growth. Even though he is distracted with work, there is something that keeps him thinking about Bella. Unsure of what it is, he questions everything and anything that comes across his path because there is no other feeling in the world that's greater than what he feels for her. He makes sure to stay busy in order to keep focused on everything that he wants to accomplish in his life, but every single second is a challenge, unlike anything he has encountered before. In order to reassure himself that he is the one who was correct about wanting to move on to the next chapter in his life, he tells Megan that they will only head to that strip club if that bartender is there because she was cute, and that other than her, there wasn't much of interest in that club besides the stripper who gave him the dance. But the main reason that has Kevin wanting to go back to this particular strip club is how well the bartender treated him. They talked for almost the entire time he was there. Megan agrees and lets him know that if nothing else, they can head to another club and meet completely different people. That way, he doesn't run into someone who might know Bella. This causes him to laugh because he never took Bella out anywhere that her friends might know, because the one thing that was clear in their relationship was that Bella and Kevin were at two completely different places in their lives, and although at one point Kevin was much more like her, he has managed to interact with people from a higher class, thus elevating himself. Meanwhile, she has continued to hang around the same group of people that has managed to hold her back, despite her claiming that she can interact with anyone. Every time he has taken her out somewhere nice or decent, she managed to make a fool not only of herself, but of him as well. Not sure how to react to that, Megan looks on confused. She knows he does truly love Bella, but by the way Kevin presented it, it is clear that they are completely different people and has opposite views as to what they want to accomplish. Knowing that Kevin cares deeply about Bella, Megan tries to not overstep any boundaries that he might have. But she wants to know if he can take a shower at his place to save time. She wouldn't have to go all the way home and then come back to his side of town. Kevin looks at her and tells her that she doesn't need to ask that because she is always welcome to come over to his place and that things are not as complex as they appear. He has no intention of pursuing a relationship with anyone other than Bella. It's nothing like that, Megan says, a slight blush creeping across her cheeks. Okay, well, I'm just saying, Kevin replies with a smirk. She has you wrapped around her finger, doesn't she? Megan asks. I'm so into her, but at the same time, I know she's my main weakness, Kevin answers. Things don't have to be this way, Megan asks. Yeah, I know, but things aren't as simple as they appear, Kevin answers. Let me take care of it, and I promise you will have a good time, Megan says. Okay, Kevin replies. Kevin looks over at Taylor, who once avoided a relationship with Megan, as Taylor warns him that she might be interested in trying to move out of the friend zone. But that is completely up to him if he wants to have fun with her. All Taylor is concerned about is that it all turns out for the best. Given everything that has happened in the last few days, touched by how concerned his friend is, Kevin lets him know that there is nothing to be worried about because the thing with Megan isn't going to go anywhere. She's not his type, and she is younger than him. Kevin adds that there's nothing that will happen that he won't include Taylor in or consult him on because he is not just a coworker and a friend. He's a brother and someone who once the time comes, he will take away from this place as they have planned over the last 2 years. Taylor embraces Kevin in a hug as he says, I know great things are coming your way, bro, but my concern is that mental state of yours. As some days you appear to be okay, while others you appear to be on the brink of losing it. And then there are the times when you are a loose cannon. With a smirk on his face, Kevin looks at him and tells him that there is no need to worry about that, as Taylor knows that Kevin is strong-minded, but there are moments that give him pause. Yet there is nothing he wouldn't do to guide his brother when the times get rough. Knowing that Taylor's mind is running, Kevin tries to put him at ease by inviting him to the club with him and Megan, an offer that he quickly refuses because he doesn't want her to think that there's a chance she can get with him, but reassures him that the important thing is that they have fun and to not do anything he does not want to do. Bro, I know what Bella means to you and what you feel for her. Why don't you just give it a chance? Taylor says. I have. Besides, after the fight, she doesn't want anything to do with me. We fought over some stupid things at the club, but it appears that everything is thrown away over some stupid stuff. That's why I can't give it a chance. She means more to me than anything in this world, bro. More than you know, more than I know. I can't find the words to describe it, and that's how effed up this situation is. Kevin answers as his eyes begin to water. Bro, if I learned anything from you, it's that there is always a way out of a problem. If you want it to work, you'll make it work. I believe in you, Taylor says as Kevin walks away. With those words stuck in his head, Kevin begins to wonder what it is he truly wants. He knows one thing that he has envisioned for so long, but that doesn't mean it's the correct thing to have in his life and future. He continues on with his day and is aware that there might not be much he can change as it pertains to his feelings, but with everything else, there's nothing but opportunity out there in this world to improve everything in his life and leave the horrible situation with Bella behind. Kevin has had to fight the urge to contact her at times, but he has been able to do so by drinking wine and working on ways to improve his situation. But the biggest thing that has helped him is all the overtime he has been working. It has kept him extremely occupied and without time to do anything else. Finishing up with work for the day, Kevin heads back to his place where he starts to clean up his apartment before Megan shows up. When he's done mopping the floor, he decides to take out the dog when his phone rings. It's Megan, letting him know that she has arrived. He tells her to give him a minute as he is walking the dog in the backyard and needs to get him back inside so that she can come in without causing the dog to lose his mind. Despite knowing the code to get into the apartment, Kevin felt comfortable enough to give it to her just in case she beat in there. She agrees to wait outside. Okay, you're good to come in now, Kevin yells out. You sure? Megan asks. Of course, he's inside just waiting to meet you, Kevin answers. For what, to kill me? Megan asks skeptically. No, he's the most loving dog I've ever had, Kevin answers, laughing. Then why are you laughing? Megan asks. Because I always get the same response, Kevin replies. Megan walks into the apartment looking at the pit bull whose name is Russell. She isn't sure what to make of the situation because the dog is just sitting there excited to see her but makes no move to come closer. Kevin tells her to ignore him for a few minutes so he can get over the excitement, but she wants to give him some attention now. Megan tells Kevin that she feels comfortable being around Russell and him, but she is concerned that Bella might show up. She isn't looking for a problem. I don't know why you're worried about that. It's not like we're dating, effing, or anything like that. We're just friends, Kevin says. Yeah, but from a woman's point of view, it's completely different because our minds are wired differently than guys. So I'm letting you know that I don't want a problem, Megan replies. I understand, but there's nothing to worry about. She doesn't come around, and we haven't talked in a while, Kevin says with a hint of sadness in his voice. How are you holding up? Megan asks. I'll be much better once we get to the club. Until then, I'm okay just trying to keep my mind busy, and knowing that there are things out there that can make me happy helps, Kevin answers. What do you mean? Megan asks. Well, I want her to be in my life as my wife, but I understand that things are not going to work out that way. So me going out and finding something that makes me happy is the best thing I could possibly do for my mental state, Kevin replies. I get that, Megan says, then asks, so you think we're going to have fun at that strip club? Oh, I know I'm having fun, Kevin answers with a smile. Megan heads into the bathroom to take a shower and sees that there is no curtain on the window. She walks back out to the living room to ask where the curtain is, to which Kevin replies that he never put one up because it has always been just him, and he isn't a fan of curtains. She tells him that she doesn't understand as he has curtains in the other rooms. He explains that the only reason the other windows have them is because he doesn't want the sun to hit his face when he is watching a movie or when he is sleeping. Confused as to his reasoning but accepting it, Megan returns to the bathroom. Once out of the shower, she comes out and starts to get dressed, and Kevin grabs his clothes and heads into the bathroom so he can take a shower. Inside the bathroom, he sees that it is covered in steam, and there isn't much hot water left, but that doesn't bother him, as he only uses the hot water when he first jumps in and then switches it over to cold for the rest of the time. While he was taking a shower, he can hear her talking to Russell and Russell's nails clicking against the floor in excitement. Now out of the bathroom and already dressed, Kevin tells Megan that they should get something to eat before they start drinking, so they can drink a lot and have a nice time. Megan agrees and wants to know if he has a place in mind, to which he replies, not at the moment, but there are a number of places where we can stop between here and there. Not sure what she is in the mood for, and Kevin being hungry as he didn't eat anything all day, she decides to let him pick a place. They jump in the car and start to head down Main Street, and she feels the need to get to know the situation a little more, but he isn't in the mood to share the story, at least not yet. Just because he doesn't feel like sharing that doesn't mean she is giving up on it, because if there's anything more interesting to her at the moment, it has to be finding out what the details of what makes Bella so special. Unwilling to budge from his stance of not talking about it, Kevin turns on the radio and blasts it, leaving Megan confused as to how rude he is being about the situation. She hopes this isn't a sign of how the rest of the night is going to play out. They arrive at a steakhouse a few miles away from the club. Kevin had heard of the place from his ex-girlfriend and had always wanted to try it, but since she had given up eating meat, and he had no friends due to him pushing the way because of her, he was never able to go. Megan looks at the table where they are seated and immediately has a problem with where they are and asks him if it's okay to move to a better table away from all the people. Given that Kevin doesn't care about dealing with people, he enjoys his privacy. He quickly agrees. The moment that the waiter appears, she tells him that they would like to move to a more private section. See, isn't this much better? Megan asks with a smile on her face. Sure is. It was too loud back there, Kevin replies. Besides, it gives a chance to talk and see what we can learn from each other, Megan says as Kevin looks so confused. Okay, ask away. The waiter returns to inform them of the specials for the night as Megan looks into Kevin's eyes and he listens to the waiter without paying attention to her. He is thinking about other things that are pressing greatly on his mind. Once the waiter finishes with the specials, Megan orders a vodka and Coke, and he orders a glass of Merlot, along with some chicken wings for an appetizer. Megan continues to look at him. He notices that she is staring at him, but doesn't want to let on, as it will lead to a whole other conversation that he does not want to have at the moment. I know you know I'm looking at you, Megan says. What makes you so sure? Kevin asks. Because you know you're cute and you have those beautiful eyes that are hard to resist, Megan answers, her lips turning up in a coy smile. Not me. My eyes are plain and boring. There is nothing special about them. They are just brown and tell no interesting story, Kevin says, trying to downplay himself, so she leaves this topic alone. That's where you're mistaken. If you only saw yourself as some people see you, you would understand how handsome you are, Megan replies, undeterred. I'll take your word on it, but I'm sorry I completely disagree with you, Kevin says. Okay, let's really get to know what's inside that head of yours, since you like to keep it all a secret, Megan says, as the waiter returns with their drinks. Sure, Kevin replies. Tell me about Diana, since I only know the basics about her, Megan says. Crap. Where do I start? Kevin asks. At the beginning, Megan answers, laughing. Fair enough. Well, I met her in my early 20s when I was trying to become a professional fighter. We met through social media, which was a mistake, but I was young and she presented herself to be a model. Kevin says. What? Megan asks. Yeah, she tricked me, or catfished me, by showing me pictures of a woman who was not her. A woman very appealing to the eyes. I S.U. not, this woman was stunning, a true Italian goddess. Little did I know I would later come to find out she was an Italian actress, Kevin answers. Oh my God, Megan replies in shock. We were far away and I was in a bad place mentally and financially because even though I was fighting and winning, I wasn't making enough money. I was barely getting by with paying the rent. Against my pride, I took her help when she offered it, and from there we built a relationship, Kevin says. When did you find out what she really looked like? An intrigued Megan asks. Not until a few months later, when there were some feelings growing on both parts. I would say one was falling for the other, while the other was falling for the possibilities of an escape. We used each other, Kevin answers. What do you mean? Megan asks. She was still married, despite telling me that she was single, and the only reason I found out was because her ex started to call me and make threats. Something she never acted on, even with me giving him an address and everything else he could possibly need to strike, but he never sees the opportunity. And that is what life is all about, opportunity, Kevin replies. What does she look like? Megan asks. Kevin pulls out his phone, thumbing through an app. She's chunky with beautiful blue eyes. I have to give her that because, as you know, light eyes are my weakness. But her personality isn't great. She feels like she's better than everyone, and that we should all be grateful that she walks among us. Kevin answers as he shows her a picture from Diana's social media page. Wow, she's fat, not chunky. Here I was worried that I couldn't measure up, but hell, I'm better than that, Megan says, laughing, and Kevin smirks. The waiter comes back with the wings and takes their order for dinner and another drink for Megan and wine for the table as they continue to make small talk about Diana and their horrible relationship that was built on lies on both of their parts. Kevin looks at Megan, confused as to why she wants to know all these things about him. He knows for a fact that he has made it clear that there will never be a possibility of this turning into something more than a friendship. Megan looks over at Kevin, aware that he is thinking about what will happen next, because even though they have only been working together for a short period of time, she feels like he shouldn't be too hard to figure out. Don't stay quiet now. Tell me about Bella, Kev, Megan gently demands. What you want to know about her? Kevin asks. Everything. Show me a picture of her, Megan says. She became my sun, my star, from the moment I first told her a simple lie, Kevin replies. What was the lie? Megan asks. She asked me if I was single, and without thinking, I said yes. I honestly don't know why I said it, but before I knew the words had left my mouth. We had exchanged numbers, and that was the most surreal experience of my life up until that moment, Kevin answers. With a wistful smile on his lips, Kevin continues. Bella was different. She was like me. We were damaged. We are damaged. But even though we might be damaged or tainted, one thing is for sure, we will not break. Because the one thing we cannot allow is for either one of us to end up broken. So how did it end up turning into crap to the point that you are here with me tonight instead of being with her? Megan asks. That's a great question. It truly is. I've had my fair share of suspicions that she was cheating on me for a long time, even though I can't prove it. But it wasn't until we went to the strip club that we had a falling out, and we haven't recovered from it. I honestly don't think we'll ever bounce back from it. I've been on my own since I was a young boy, trying to figure things out for myself along the way, watching people I've known make mistakes, sometimes deadly mistakes, as I've seen what this world has to offer on so many levels, and yet here I stand. I never felt love or cared for anyone in my life until I met her, and here we are now, separated for whatever reason, and it's still effing killing me. But I cannot allow this to be my breaking point, and I will do what I have always done, and that is to rise up and show the effing world who the F I am, Kevin states. And who or what is that? Megan asks. I'm a fighter, a survivor, and someone who refuses to die or surrender. I don't give in, and I won't stop until there is nothing left to fight for, Kevin answers, conviction lacing his tone. Kevin takes a sip of his wine before going on. I've been open with her about the fact that I don't know how to be romantic because I've never had the desire to be with anyone on that level until I met her. And yet, with her, I felt things that I've never imagined. It's the oddest of things, and something that I doubt I'll ever experience again. Sweet. I know you'll feel it again someday. All you have to do is shut it out and allow it to happen. You deserve to be happy, and I know that you will be if you allow yourself the chance to fully experience it, Megan says as Kevin passes her his phone. Wow, this is Bella? Megan asks as he nods in agreement. She's beautiful, and it shows me that I was right about you. You have a type. And I now know that I'm not it. But it doesn't hurt to try. Like you said, fight till the end. The waiter returns with the food, and Kevin looks over at Megan. She is excited to start eating so that they can hurry up and head over to the strip club because she is dying to see him cut loose a bit. He is always so uptight. He looks at her and smiles, but he's more interested in eating the burger than continuing the conversation. She watches on as he eats the burger, knowing that he doesn't want to talk anymore due to him being uncomfortable and not having enough wine in his system. Throughout the rest of the meal, all she does is hope that she hasn't offended him, and he is being extremely quiet. This isn't the norm between them, since he is usually making some type of joke or comment about something. She starts to think that he doesn't enjoy her company and prefers to just be friends at work. But just as she begins to lower her head in disappointment, he looks at her and says, "Stop sulking like a little bee," and it instantly brings a smile to her face. Being aware that she doesn't like him more than he likes her, being aware that she does like him more than he likes her, his intent is not to hurt her feelings or make sure that she never wants to hang out again, as he does enjoy her company, but he just prefers to be friends due to his current situation. Now that they are done with their meals and drinks, Megan looks over while Kevin stares back at her without saying a word. She is having a hard time reading him due to the fact that there is nothing but a blank expression on his face. She knows there is no way that Bella would easily be replaced in his mind or heart, but she doesn't want to take her place. She would just like a chance to prove to him that there is something else out there that even though it might be different from what he wants, it can end up being something beneficial to him. Kevin must sense that there is something on her mind because he tries to avoid the subject by saying, "I'm beyond excited about the club, and I hope that you have a great time as well." Aware that this is his way of saying that it's okay and that she shouldn't stress too much about this because there are things that are out of our control, she just smiles at him as they walk outside. Okay, so that's chapter 2. The next one will be chapter 3, Remember the Monster. We'll do that next time to keep these videos as short as possible, like I said in the last one. So I hope that you guys like, share, subscribe, so you can keep coming back and I can keep doing this. And I hope that you really do enjoy listening to me talk, because you watching these and you continuing to come back really helps me in that. So please like, share, subscribe. Last time I'll say it, I promise. And I'll see you all next time. Bye.